What is up? It's Andy, and I'm in a good mood today. I certainly am. And when you're in a good mood as you get older, you really got to cherish it, because the good moods where you just come whistling into the room, they grow far and few between as you get older. Not because of anything. It doesn't mean that you're becoming miserable. It doesn't mean that you're becoming some curmudgeon. It just means that as you go on, you're impressed by less. There's a saying about that. There's a saying about nothing impresses you after a certain amount of time. And it's just because, it's a natural progression of life. How fun is it going to a high school party when you're in high school? It's fantastic. Oh my God, that person's parents are away. Catherine's throwing a party. We're all going over there, man. And then what happens if you try to go to a high school party once you're in college? It's like, oh my God, what is this? And then what's it like going to a college bar when you're a full-grown adult? And then what's it like going to the Jersey Shore after you've been in the Adriatic in Croatia? It only just gets better. And then eventually you've seen it all. And there's only so many times that you can just have a jovial attitude where you're just whistling down the street. Gotta tell you guys something fun. Hey, look, it has nothing to do with sports betting. You know how there's the walk of shame that people have alluded to? When a guy is leaving a girl's place in the morning, I believe that's called the stride of pride. And I tell you, I had one of the best strides of pride ever. Like when I would leave a girl's place in the morning, I felt like I was a guy in 1865 Britain, where I had a top hat on and I'd be walking by people and I'm just tipping my cap like, top of the morning to you, sir. And that's kind of how, and today I got a little bit of that vibe going on. For a couple of reasons. Number one, and something that I wanted to tell you guys, is next week, midweek, I'm going on a little vacation, but not like a vacation where I'm going to California, Arizona. I'm going to hockey games. I'm going to film some stuff. So I'm going to be putting some videos out. They're just not going to be like this. They're not going to be in the bunker. Some of them are going to be on the road. I haven't exactly concocted how I'm going to go about getting the videos to you. I wanted to try maybe somewhat of a new format. So that's number one. And then number two, it was a milestone day yesterday for all of you minority owners on the Patreon. I hit a benchmark that I was extremely proud of. Now, it's kind of a mixed bag, because this has been my most successful year as far as NHL Sniffs have been concerned. The only problem, it hasn't translated the videos are just like kind of a certain percentage of all the stuff that's going to be out there. I keep referencing the spreadsheets, the line combos, where we have the assortment of bets. Well, last night we had around plus 11 night, and it took us over the plus 300 mark for the season. Getting plus 300 in a few short months with 0 losing months. I'm not a money-making service, but there's a part of me that was proud to provide that for all you Sniff Juniors out there, everybody who supported this show. Hey, you were rewarded. We still got some time left here. We got all of March and then obviously playoffs, but it's going to be a different kind of transition once we get to playoffs. It's going to be from about all those line combo overs to those clenched ass cheek unders, but we'll take it one day at a time, as they say. Am I just going on to? I'll go on even further. Don't tell me when to. You know what? You're right. You're right. You know who said stop? Oh, that's right. None of you have control of what's going on here. I'm going to tell you one more thing. When I was in college, somebody said to my roommate, it was just that class, I'm just taking things one day at a time. And then my roommate just said, what other way is there to actually take it? And the person didn't have an answer. And I always think of that when someone says, you just got to take things one day at a time. We're not Adam Sandler and Click. We can't, I just took things 2 weeks at a time. Doesn't work like that. So let's take things one day at a time, and let's take this Friday 3-game slate one sniff at a time. And we'll start with this New York Rangers game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Interesting game. Rangers are playing better. They're weaseling their way back into the playoff race. They're still on the outside looking in. They need every point they can get. Both of these teams are potentially missing some key pieces. For the Rangers, They're definitely going to be missing Adam Fox. Team USA wished they were missing Adam Fox the way he played in that tournament. But as far as for the Rangers, he's a pretty critical part of that power play. We're going to see how they do without him for the first time. And then on the other side, William Nylander left the last game, and his status is kind of up in the air. So if he's out, where does everybody else slot in? But one thing that I'm seeing in this game, by the way, this was very interesting to see. The first time I can recall in years, somebody on the Rangers has a higher minus next to his point prop price than Artemi Panarin. It was just shocking to see. I'm like, no, it can't be right. But yeah, JT Miller has ascended to that position, but he's been so productive, you can't really blame the sports books. But that doesn't mean Artemi Panarin has been any less good or any less worthy of a click. I'm looking at Panarin. They got him with his old line mates together. We know that's a line that can be successful. It's been successful this year, last year. I mean, they were on fire last year. But Artemi Panarin, Vincent Trocheck, and Alex Lafreniere, first thing I'm going to look at, so many times you look at Artemi Panarin, his assist is minus 125. We're getting it at a plus 110 in this game. I think that's a pretty good bet. The assist for Artemi Panarin, plus 110. I'm hoping this 5-forward power play they're going to roll out there doesn't really lose any steam. I think they'll be all right because most of those guys have played together a long time. They have some pretty good chemistry, but I guess time will tell. And then if we got him for that assist, let's just add his center, Vincent Trocheck, for a point. That's plus 230 right there. That's kind of where I'm going to go. On Toronto's side, I feel like that top line is going to have to do some heavy lifting, and I feel like Austin Matthews typically plays very well against the Rangers. These are just really gross prices. We saw Shesterkin come into form these last two games, and I don't want to be asking Matthews for 2 points or Marner for 2 points, especially when the Rangers are going to have last change at home, and they can just try to focus on shutting down that line. I'm going to veer towards Panarin and Trocheck. Those are going to be my guys on the New York Rangers there in that game. Then let's go to Dallas, where we got these Stars facing the Kings. These are two quality teams, two playoff teams, two teams that they have Stanley Cup aspirations. More people believe the Stars can do it. Some people believe the Kings can do it. But this is a game between two potential playoff foes. Two teams who are known to play pretty solid defense, despite the fact the Stars kind of gotten some wacky game. I don't know. Columbus can pop 5 in on anyone, apparently. 5 on Detroit, a red-hot Detroit. 6 on the Stars. I don't know, man. I'm almost in on these Columbus Blue Jackets. Always remember, we got them at plus 600 or 700 to make the playoffs. All I said is we need to get in a position where we can guarantee ourselves money. It ain't going to be much longer. We're taking them to miss the playoffs. Might be a plus money bet. Time will tell. We will see where we go with that. Always just kind of check that. But the Stars and the Kings, I'm just going to go with unders in this game. I'm going to go with the 6.5, which means I'm going to have to. I know somebody said, I guess they make their girlfriend watch my video. I would like more of a female audience. I'm sick of getting DM'd by you gargoyles. The 1 or 2 girls who have DM'd me from this show, such polite, pleasant individuals. Guys, fucking gargoyles. Anyway, some guy, I guess, when I brought up the bump it up, I think that was the first time his girl ever enjoyed the video. I don't know why he's forcing his girl to watch these videos. But I guess hey, I guess you took it seriously when I said, hey, tell everybody, share these videos, force your girlfriend to watch it. That guy, he's a real one. Thank you so much for forcing your girl to watch that. Like many girls force their guys to watch like the Kardashians or something like that. So she apparently enjoys it when I bump it up. So let's bump this up to 6.5. And you know what I do? I just scan both teams and try to isolate one guy, take his under to flip this to plus money. And my guy on this particular occasion is going to be Mason Marchment. I don't think he has a single point since returning from this injury. Not a single, but even the other night, When they scored 5 or 6 against the Islanders, nothing for Marchment, nothing less. Granlund got in on it. Duchesne got it. I don't know what the hell's going on with this guy, but while he's ice cold, I'll put him in there under 6.5, under half of a point on Mason Marchment, and that will get you a plus 120. And then on the Kings side, the same way we did it a couple nights ago, the double under on the Toronto guys. Then we nailed one of our 2 double unders on the Vancouver guys. I think Pettersson and DeBrusk we got. Let's try something similar. Third line on the Kings. Give me Trevor Moore, Philip Danault, plus 110, double under on the both of those guys. There's a lot of talent on that ice. And yes, goals can go in. But if the game takes shape, like many times it does between 2 teams like this, you saw it with the Kings and Vancouver last game. And in all honesty, you saw it with the Golden Knights and the Kings the night before that. I mean, that was a low-scoring game, and it just happened to have some random ruckus at the very end. So I'll go with the variety of unders there. And then in that late game, the Colorado Avalanche taking on the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota is as bad as they looked, and I kind of feel bad. You take the MVP frontrunner in Kaprizov out of that lineup, then you start removing even like Eriksson Ek. They're just trying to piece together wins and piece together goals any which way they can, but it seems to finally have caught up with them. Got crushed by the Utah, Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes last night. Now they're going into Colorado. I thought Colorado might get some of that offensive swag back in that first game back in Colorado. They did that against the Devils. They had a big third period. And now, Nichushkin back another game. They got 2 lines they can roll out there. Middlestat scored last game, which will help his confidence. I like Colorado to win, but this is once again going to be a lesson. Yeah, any value in a minus 210 or minus 200 maybe is the best you can get. No, there's absolutely no value there. Zero value. So, as always, money line, donkey line is the worst value you can get. The next best that you can get is that over 3.5 goals, minus 105 is okay. Not too shabby. Minnesota playing games in back-to-back nights, going into Colorado, never a place you want to be playing when you're fatigued. Or you want to know what's better than that? I mean, if the Avs are scoring over 3.5 goals, Nathan MacKinnon's got to have 2 points. Anytime you can get MacKinnon for 2 points in a home game in Colorado after having 3 points in the last game at plus 105 against a team who played the previous night, it's a calculated sniff to try to end your day and end our month, I don't know, on an even higher note than it already has been. Anyway, good luck to you. Better luck to me if you guys want to join all of us. I've already talked about it so much. You can do that over at the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Andy Francess. That's where I'll be dishing out all the weekend sniffs. That's where I send out my picks. Like, how sometimes the videos come out at like 1? Well, I'll post, my initial sniffs the night before that. But sometimes if I don't get a chance to edit the video until the morning, that's why, it's not out. And that's why the odds sometimes look different. So I put the sniffs out early there. I get the line combos out. I update the line combo. I do everything I can for you. And, you guys have pretty much been rewarded. So I hope to see you guys over there. If not, I will see you on Monday for another round of NHL Sniffs. Take it easy and good luck.
Don't be a donkey. Like the video, leave a comment, and then you can go off and be a pirate.